one of the main functions of your shoulder is to assist the scapula in finding its full range of motion. So be able to flex, we should be able to extend, to abduct, to adduct. But one of the things that we often don't think about as much is that you also have two shoulder blades that should be able to move together and independently and almost like a circular way, which helps you in movements and all shoulder movements, but also think about things like rowing. You're thinking about retracting and depressing your shoulder blades. A bench press, we're thinking about pulling those together before we press. Scapular movement is a really important part of your shoulder health. So today we're going to be doing some movements that are going to help us improve on that, because this is one of those that most people don't do, and it's often overlooked. They're like, oh, why can't I lift my arm up? It must be because the front of my shoulder is tight. And yes, it could be because the front of your shoulder is tight. But a lot of time what I see is that because of the posture we're in a lot of the time, the muscles in between our shoulder blades, our rhomboids, or even parts of our lats, our traps, get very overactive or underactive, and they just don't function and move as they should. And if those muscles are tight, if those muscles aren't moving well, then it can restrict and create that tightness in the front of the shoulder, because the body creates restriction where it feels unsafe to move. So that could help relieve some of that restriction or tight feeling that you feel in the front of your shoulder, or it could just help your shoulders feel like they move a whole lot better in all of the upper body movements that you do in your day-to-day basis. So for this one, we're just going to need your body, and I'm going to start off with one that kind of gets our brain in the right place, and then we're going to go into a little bit more challenging way that you can train this. So for this one, you can be standing or you can be seated. I'm going to stay seated, but feel free to do this from a standing position as well. So finding a seat, I'm going to sit on my feet for this one, and I'm going to show you what it looks like here from the side. So we're thinking about driving, if you're standing, your feet into the ground. I'm thinking about driving the top of my feet into the ground, finding some core tension, because we're going to try to just move at the shoulder blades. From there, you're going to squeeze your fist, create a little bit of tension, and we're going to think about pressing a fist using our back muscles forward up towards our ears. We're going to pull back and we're going to pull down. And we're going to start by just exploring what that range of motion feels like. Try not to move through any other part of your body, not even your head, because it's going to feel like your head wants to move here. So it can be really helpful to kind of look at what you're doing in a mirror, or have somebody film you, film yourself, because when our neck and head are we're not used to doing this, and our neck and traps are tight, they can also come along for the ride. So we're going to go 10, going one way, and then I want you to reverse the direction. We're going up, forward, down, squeezing back. This one is typically one of the hardest ones, so I like to pause for a second, pull it back, forward, up, back, and down, forward, up, back, and down. Good, going 10 times, and then the other way is back, down, forward, and up, back, down, forward, and up. So I suggest, doing 10 of these at least, going in both directions. It's most challenging for them. So I like to do a little isometric. So make those fists, drive your feet in the ground. And then I just want you to think about squeezing your shoulders back and down. And we're just going to hold that thing really long through the neck for 10 seconds. So we're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, release. And then again, we're pulling back for 10, 9, 8. Keep driving your feet in the ground. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then the last one here, pulling back and down for 10, 9. Keep squeezing your fists. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The hardest for depression and retraction helps turn on the muscles right there in the middle of your back or lower traps that we have a hard time hitting with regular movements and regular exercise. You could have felt that one in your shoulders. I actually felt that a little bit in the sides of my chest today, your arms, or you could feel that mid-back activating. Next one, we're going to come to hands and knees, and we're going to kind of explore that movement we created, closed chain, so with our hands on the floor. So hands are going to come underneath your shoulders. Knees are going to come underneath your hips. We're going to think about pushing away from the ground. I like to tuck my toes, but they can also be flat on the ground. From there, head and neck is long. We're thinking about relaxing through the head and the neck the best as we can when we do all of these variations. And you're going to start by squeezing your shoulder blades down, pushing the back of your heart up towards the sky. Squeezing down, pushing the back of your heart. So this one, I want you to think about keeping that neck as still as possible, because it might try to do this kind of thing, but you're thinking about not moving it. So film yourself, get a partner to film you. And then if those are feeling pretty easy, and you can do at least 20 of those, doing them pretty well, squeezing the shoulder blades in, pushing the back of the heart up to the sky, doming out that upper back. Then we can try to find a wave, just like we did a second ago when I was sitting. So you're going to think about bringing your shoulder blades forward up, back and down, digging your fingers into the ground, forward, up, back, and down. And this one's hard. I like to close my eyes because for some reason this one makes a lot more sense the less we think about it. And I suggest going 10 each way. And yours might not look like mine. This will just be something I start to play around with, explore around with. And then we do the same thing, go in the other way. I feel like this is harder to do on one side of your shoulder blade than the other. I'm noticing that a little bit with my body. None of us are completely symmetrical. And once that gets pretty easy, you can do both of those variations in an extended plank. So we can work keeping the hips tucked, squeezing them down, pushing it up, or you can do a circle and that extended plank. And then eventually, one day we're in a full plank, hands under shoulders, and you could do the same thing. This would be a great movement to add into your existing shoulder mobility routine, especially if this is something that is new to you. Scapular function is going to help support and stabilize our shoulder girdle, and just going to help you feel like a lot more ease when you're doing things with your shoulders and your upper body. So go ahead and give me a subscribe if you like this one, and happy moving. Enjoy.